Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jupiter James, where I do what I want, when I want, and today I want to talk about astrology. More specifically, getting into my in-depth planetary analysis series, and today we're going to talk about the restrictive karmic sign of Saturn. Saturn is a very scary sign, I know, but it rules the matrix that we live in. It rules the 3D world and the karmic lessons that we are meant to learn. Is the great teacher. And if you want to know more about that, let's get into it. So with Saturn, wherever Saturn is in a birth chart is going to be where I automatically understand the karmic lessons that this person is meant to learn. And they will learn these karmic lessons through the restriction that Saturn is exuding, because he will restrict that theme of life. And thus through the restriction or through the struggle of that theme in the birth chart that Saturn is making this person go through, they are meant to learn it and get over it by the age of 30 during their Saturn return. So for me, everything is connected. Everything is connected in astrology or in the universe that we live in. And so I like to relate all of the planets in the solar system or in the universe to Greek gods like they did back in the day. And if you haven't really taken note of that, here we are, and I'm here to teach you, and I'm here to let you know that Saturn is akin to Kronos, and Kronos is the Greek god of time. It is the Greek god of lessons and struggle. He was the Greek god, and people like to also equate Saturn to the devil or Satan, because again, he rules the lesser worlds. He rules the earth. He rules the 3D world that we have all fallen into. And so without getting too deep into that, if you can kind of summarize that and feed into that, then you will understand what I'm getting at, is that Saturn rules the 3D karmic world that we are all subject to. And so you can't get out of karma unless you undo your karma. And so with Saturn ruling karma and ruling lessons, it also restricts and binds you to the world that we're living in. So everything that you're looking at right now, if you open your eyes and look out your window, Saturn is ruling that. He rules the structures and the systems that we are all in. He governs law. He governs the military and government and all of the things that we just go, oh, why do I have to do that? Like, I don't want to do that. That's what Saturn rules. Saturn rules Capricorn. We were just in the age of Capricorn not too long ago because of, what was it? Pluto was ruling Capricorn, and we were in a very capitalistic moment in time, if you think about it, where capitalism is at an all-time rise. Corporations are at an all-time rise, correct? And so I love that I'm actually talking about this during this time, because we were in an age of Capricorn where big corporations were ruling the world, right? We were all overworked and underpaid. We were all doing things that we didn't want to do from Monday through Friday, and for most it was Monday through Saturday and Sunday. You know, if you were working, and we got to work and work and work, and it didn't matter how much work we did. It almost always seemed like the next year we had to do more work for even less pay, while rent got higher and mortgages got more extended and taxes became bigger and harder. And so that is what Saturn rules. Saturn rules all the systems that we didn't want to do. And so with Pluto being in Capricorn at the tippy nth degree, I'd say like before COVID, we were probably at like 29 degrees Capricorn. Capricorn is a Saturn ruled sign. Capricorn is all about success and work and climbing the corporate ladder and being successful and capitalism. Like, that is what Capricorn is. Capricorn is the Joneses. Capricorn wants to roll with the big dogs and be at the top. And so with Saturn ruling that sign, and with us being in a time period before COVID, you could see how with Pluto in Capricorn where our society was before COVID. I don't know about you, but before COVID, I don't know how I could keep going, to be very honest with you, because for me, I just felt like I was climbing this never-ending ladder to success, that like once I climbed one mountain, I had to go to another mountain. It was like right before COVID that I genuinely feel that if I did not catch a break somehow, that I would not be here today. Honestly, like COVID was the most divine intervening thing in my life because it stopped it, right? We all got a chance to rest and relax and sit on our couches. Yes, some people couldn't handle it, but think about some people who genuinely needed a moment just to not work, to not get up every day and go to a job and report to a job and do these things without calling someone and waiting for them to approve your vacations and saying you don't have enough PTO and la 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 la. Like, it was a time where it just collapsed. And think about that. Pluto went into Aquarius during that time. During that time of COVID, it was going into its last degree. Pluto was going into its last degree of Capricorn, and that is where the energy was at its strongest. It was where corporations were literally taking people for advantage. It was literally it was coming to a head. And I think that without COVID, I don't think that people would have had the courage to say, you know what, hey, I'm being overworked and I'm being underpaid. This will no longer fly. I want a 4-day work weekend. I don't want to report to work anymore. Something's got to give. These corporations need to value their people. You know, now we live in the world where we live in now, where corporations have kind of seen that, whoa, unless we treat these people right, unless we give them more time to rest and a more work-life balance, they will not work for us. You also saw that there was a big, what do you call it? Great resignation, right? Where a lot of people during COVID left their jobs. A lot of people said, fuck this job, I'm not doing that. Like, no way, I'm over it. Like, I would rather sit at home or be with my family than to do what I was doing. And that was because we were in the age of Capricorn, which technically we were in a very Saturnian age in our society. We were in a very, very, very Saturnian, work-driven, lesson-driven, painstaking energy. And so that was a big rant to just say that that is how Saturn is in whatever sign in our charts. It's gonna be a place in our chart where we are being beat down and we are being forced to learn the lessons. And the only way we can learn the lessons is if we go through the grit, if we go through the turmoil, if we really, really get beat down enough or restricted enough or things don't work out enough for us to go, wait, hold on. What is this trying to show me? What is this trying to teach me? And so, yeah, like let's take for example, if Saturn was in the 7th house, right? Saturn in the 7th house is going to restrict the opportunity for interrelational or love, right? Because it's going to restrict love. With Libra ruling the 7th house, it's going to make for a person who is slow to get love or attain love or be good in relationships. It's gonna teach this person time and time again what they need to learn in order to access love. This person will also probably access love at a later age because, again, wherever Saturn is, he doesn't quite delay, he doesn't restrict it, he just delays it. And so it's not like you'll never get it, you will get it. You will just get it after you get the lessons and the karmic lessons that you're meant to learn. This usually happens by the age of 28. And so it's just amazing. If I can give you guys a very clear example. So for me, I have Capricorn in the 7th house, right? And for me, I've been single for 7 years, and being in relationships, I have not had a lot of partners. I haven't. It's just something that is hard for me. I don't know why. I tried, but it just does. It's blocked. It's like, and people think that it's my choice that I'm single, but I'm like, I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did or what everyone else is doing. Like when I'm in a club or at a bar, I see people are able to get together and be together, but for some reason it just goes over my head. I'm just like, I don't know. Is there a secret that everyone knows? How to get together and how to like be together and get a guy, get a girl, like I just don't know, right? But what I am good at is in my career. I'm good in my career, I'm good at my job. Was in my job for like 8 years at a time. Like for one point, I was at my job for 8 years, right? And around the time of my Saturn return, right, not only was it time for me to learn the lessons that I needed to learn in my job, but it was also time for me to learn the lessons I needed to learn as far as relationships and how to relate with people and what are real relationships and what are not so real relationships. And I had to learn that lesson around COVID. So isn't it funny that around the time of my Saturn return, COVID happened, right? And they say that you will learn these lessons because during your Saturn return, it's like an uprooting, right? Like something happens in your life where what you were doing before, after your Saturn return, is what you won't be doing after. And so during my Saturn return, COVID happened. I quit my job. I quit like doing the same things I was doing in a relationship. And now here I am on YouTube. You see, so it's like, it happens that way. Like wherever your Saturn is in your chart, and I believe I did a Saturn through the houses series. And if you want to know more about what each, specific detailed, what Saturn will do in each house, go to that video. But in this video, this is a more broad, general sensed video, more planetary analysis video. But anyway, around the time of your Saturn return, whatever theme that is in, something is going to happen in your life around 28 to 30, where it's going to be like, Saturn is like, all right, time's up. Time's up. It's time for you to get it. And it's going to be impossible to refuse learning the lesson that you're meant to learn. It's going to be impossible because there will not be a path forward unless you learn the lesson. There will not be a path forward unless you learn the lesson that the great father, the great teacher, the great Chronos of karma wants to teach you. And so that is what Saturn is meant to do in our chart. It's meant to be the teacher. It's meant to be the father. If Moon is mother, Saturn is father. Moon is, oh baby, come here, like, oh, show me your emotions. Saturn is like, get to work, let's go. You do them dishes, you got that, did you make that bed? All right, let's go, let's get it. It's like, it's the father, it's the hard teacher, the father that is like very hard on you, but he's hard on you because he knows that you have the fortitude and the wherewithal to get through it and learn the lessons. That way you come out on the other end wiser and stronger and more equipped for the life that you are meant to live. And so I say, don't fear Saturn, don't fear it. Actually lean into it, really investigate. What does my Saturn want to teach me? Does my Saturn in my third house want to teach me how to communicate more? Does it, and more effectively? Does my Saturn in the 10th house want to teach me things about my career? Does my Saturn in my 11th house want to teach me things about my friends and honing my capabilities about reaching out to the masses? What does my Saturn want to teach me? In that way, if you know your lessons, if you know better, you can do better. And so that was my planetary analysis on Saturn, and I hope that helps someone out there. I do birth chart readings, love readings, career and destiny readings, all kind of readings. Just hit my links below. I'm sure the stars have a message and a solution for you, and I would love to help you out with it. Y'all have a great day. My name is Jupiter James, and I'm signing out. Y'all have a good one, okay? Bye.